would say something, it was going to be late. They're crunching him again already.
Remember when he said that wasn't going to happen?
Well,
Yeah.
I'll just ask them nicely. And
probably he asked them, hey, maybe you should... Oh my goodness, he's dead. Hello.
Hey, I'm dead.
Welcome
Hi.
to Die.
Welcome to die.
Nice. You are. Not terribly.
How's it
Thank you,
going?
my least favorite.
Yeah, you're welcome.
This is quick.
Oh, who put Brussels sprouts on these?
That was Jeff.
Yeah, I
The
got
camera is
extra.
literally cutting Lewis off.
He's our most important creature. We just have a Lobos cam.
It's a cardboard
I
cutout.
did the first session we ever did.
Just of Lobos.
Well, it was supposed to be like, oh, this is going to be the player cam, which is basically what this is.
Oh, yeah, and it's
but I
like
didn't have a
20
place to put it, so I just put it on the table, and Lois was sitting where he was. So, but here we are now, more than a year later,
You like Bill
still
Smith?
playing. So I guess it worked.
Yes. Polo, you amuse me.
Polo is a good dog. There is a new camera angle, very observant, Squeaky Lobo.
Was like
Unless they were following you on Twitter.com and already knew.
Squeaky has cameras of his own inside my house. He knows everything. He knows everything about my siblings,
You have to hand me my folder, but
which is
I don't know
fine.
everything about
That's
Okay.
fine.
this table's much tighter than before.
Yeah.
Is it?
A little.
Why didn't you say anything in the half an hour that you've been here?
Well, once I sat down, it was fine.
Well, great.
Anyway.
Great.
Well,
Hold on. Gotta do this too.
Yes.
Sandal. Sandal.
That's
oh,
and
you
dog
hit that.
repulsive.
Oh god, there's sandal.
Yeah, it's not saying that it's the dog hair that was kicked up.
Are those the sandals that were used in 5 Guardians of David?
Yes. They were used in the production of that game.
That's
You enjoyed
amazing.
it, didn't you?
Fantastic.
I actually fucking loved about the first hour.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in the
Wait. You fucking loved it?
I did. It was serious. It was one of the most fun streams I have ever had. Was the first hour of
Was
Guardians.
the
Okay.
stream fun or was the game fun?
Absolutely the stream.
Yeah.
Okay, so
The game wasn't fun at all.
Okay.
Good. You're hired.
And then it's sort of like, you know, when it's something that's like, you can tell where they hit the crunch. And you're like, oh, all the environments got really long.
Bill's face for just some of the bosses.
Pretty much.
Spectacular. Well, before we get on with our own business, I want to thank once again Shooting for the Stars, Largest Walnut, who sent another care package. This one with a USB extension cable, which will absolutely get
Those
used.
things are rare. They almost never come with things that need them.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, don't get me started.
I've
and-
had experiences with it too.
A set of dice,
Ooh.
which I will use today.
Hey, what color?
They are
Dice colored.
blue steel.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
That's my
So not just one color, but two.
Steel is
Is
my
steel
favorite
a
Sonic
color?
the Hedgehog character.
Yes, it's like
actually,
chrome.
so-
It's like
yeah.
splotchy blue and chrome. So yeah, it's the color of
That's
both
cool.
Sonic and his
Yeah.
nemesis, Mecha Sonic.
Polo
Yeah,
Polo
from Sonic
seems to
CD.
approve.
Wasn't
Much
Dr.
more red it
Robotnik his...
That's his arch enemy, not his nemesis.
Let's talk about Sonic less.
Let's talk
Yes.
about Triple Trouble for the Game Gear.
No.
Oh yeah.
Ryan, did you have something that you wanted to share with everyone?
Knack the wheels.
Yeah,
lazy badass.
Cookies!
So I have cookies here today.
Instead of
Okay.
an energy
In
drink.
commemoration of Facebook told me this. I mean, don't keep track of, you know, superfluous
Stuff.
dates like this. But apparently, Brendan already knows what it is, right?
I do!
What?
It's our 2-year friendship-versary.
It is!
Friendiversary?
And
So Ryan and I think, were
We were
aware of one another, but we didn't actually, like, shake hands and go like, hey, I'm X, hey, I'm Brendan. Why is your name X? Until Fieldy Field's birthday party 2 years ago, where we played Scrabble, and some guy got super drunk and laid and rolled around on the floor,
Wasn't me.
insisting he was going to clean it up. It wasn't me either.
by the way, first of all, I hate Scrabble and I suck at it.
Scrabble's amazing.
Oh,
I remember
Scrabble.
I was like the worst, and I don't think I was taking it seriously, and I was pretty sure that you hated me. So, yes,
So-
you did.
That's his regular.
Everyone who meets me, that's their first impression. It's like,
Because you
man, that
flower
guy fucking
them.
hated me.
Yeah.
Hours.
I better accept his friendship request.
So I was like, well, I'm never going to hear from that guy again. I he sent me an invite on Facebook to be a friend. I was like, well, I would feel guilty saying no because you know Fieldy, so I hit yes
And here we
That's
are.
still the foundation of your friendship.
Scrabble.
Did you get these cookies to celebrate?
Yeah. They're from 7-Eleven, but they are peppermint candy cane, and so
Festive.
enjoy, guys.
Do
That's
they go?
amazing.
Do they go well with energy drinks?
Yes, they are made in a peanut and tree nut free facility.
Oh, that's good. Just like my pad thai, there's no fucking peanuts.
Is it tree nuts though, or all nuts?
What? Peanut and tree nut. So if it's not a peanut and it's not a nut that comes from a tree, it might have been made with those.
Okay.
It's not certain. It could have been left out of those too. I don't know.
Hello. Did you not put your tail in my food?
Hello. Well, believe it or not, I also have an announcement, which was that this morning I saw that it was Maya and Ryan's 2-year anniversary, so I got you a cannoli.
Oh my god, that's amazing!
I think.
Oh, thank you, man.
Brendan just had that cannoli in his
I didn't!
like 7 weeks ago.
I got it for Fat Wizard!
That's amazing.
It's so
That
fresh.
looks really
Thank you.
good.
Should we do the thing where they do in restaurants where you get a piece of cake and like 17 forks
Okay.
and everyone gets
No.
All right.
You should just
Oh,
eat
that's
it.
fantastic.
So, so no NOS minute this week? Is that
No, we do have a NOS minute.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, I was worried.
Yeah, look,
Are we
there's
ready
fresh
for?
memories.
Are we done with the
I
NOS?
think we're done with the sappy shit. It's time to get on to business.
Yeah.
The Nas Minute. I really need to like have a theme
Yeah,
or something
can we
like
get
that.
a
A
John
stinger.
Cena.
30-second jingle?
All right, hang on. I do have a list of stingers.
I want some Nas. Got him. Never seen him this interested.
Can you
in
throw
Nas
me that
minute.
cup there?
It's gotta be the perfect stinger.
That's not it. That's not
So
it.
tasty.
That's pretty good.
The Nas Minute.
NOS minute.
What do you got for us this week, Fat
Well, this one
This is a long stinger.
impressed me with the sheer audacity of everything on this.
Is it?
It is called the original Spike Hardcore Energy.
Wow.
It also says read entire label before drinking.
Wow.
Which we're not going to do.
So it's
If you're
got no
allergic to
calories,
peanuts.
no
I'll
carbs,
happily
no
volunteer
sugar.
for that duty.
It is an energy supplement. And
Get spiked.
no, listen to
Your
this.
blood.
It says get spiked. Not to burst anyone's bubble, but there are no such thing as monsters, and bulls really can't fly. Right?
Fuck.
So
Every
if you
shot has
believe
been
in these
fired.
fictional characters, you need not apply. Spike, hardcore energy. It's as real as it gets, and it's hardcore to the bone.
What makes
Once
it
you
hardcore?
take a sip, you never
Hardcore
go
to
back.
the bone.
God damn.
What makes it hardcore?
So, by the way, this gave me a good idea about making an energy drink just called Fuck. So I could
Why
just say
not?
get fucked.
It's just the natural progression of energy drink names.
That's outstanding.
So one other thing I really liked is the recommended use says begin use with 1/2 can per day to determine tolerance.
You guys are screwed.
It's like fitness supplements.
We're all gonna die.
That's amazing.
No, so the best thing about this though is you look at the ingredients. It's
You're gonna have to
carbonated
combat
water,
music up for this.
citric acid, sodium citrate,
Game over music.
natural and artificial flavors. There's like literally no caffeine or taurine here. I don't know.
Interesting.
Actually, they do. They've got some B12.
Oh.
A Spike Hardcore Energy formula. Anyway,
Otherwise
as a
known as
special
PCP.
ingredient.
yeah.
Okay,
So-
I have to say I'm psyched about this energy drink.
I'm
Yeah,
excited
hardcore.
too.
This is an energy
Like,
drink
look
that
at
just
this.
punches you
Honestly,
in the mouth.
like this is the type of stuff you see in like things that give you amino acids and like this is an
You
energy
get arrested for
workout.
possessing.
So I'm
Things you find in the
stoked
hospital.
about this.
Yeah. You get you banned from the Olympics.
What color is it? It's important.
Wait,
It's
we're
a
drinking
red.
Ooh, it's
It's a
red.
nice fuck you
I think it's
red.
more like a raspberry.
It's like
Don't
wow.
say raspberry.
Slight
Hey,
violet.
what's wrong with raspberry?
I love raspberries,
I
but you
love
can't like raspberry. It doesn't suit their image.
It's a little violet.
It's more like fuck bear.
No, it's violet for violence.
Klingon blood wine.
Did you know that was that a Star Trek joke?
Yeah.
Did you know that the power thirst is now a real thing?
No.
You remember the old power thirst
Yeah.
video?
What? Nope. No.
Okay.
Power thirst. It's crystal meth.
Yes.
Oh yes, I remember
Oh
that.
yeah, crystal meth's been a real thing for a while now.
What if everything you ever wanted
I mean,
came
so
in
the
a rocket
Because I
can?
read the can says it said someone should
Oh,
read
yeah.
the can, so like when you all start having seizures and stuff.
These aren't
I
your
can tell that
dad's
they're about to
bones.
It's like, yeah,
fucking
call poison control.
Yeah.
400
In
babies.
case of ingestion, poison
Caution,
called
caution,
poison.
hold on, caution. This product contains strong stimulants and should not be combined with any other stimulant or weight loss supplement or medicine.
Also, I think it said if you're pregnant, don't drink it. Is that
I didn't
something
see
in
that
there?
yet, but there's a lot of warnings on
I think
here.
it was like on the side, like written on the side.
Oh, the warning, yeah. Let's see. Warning. Do not use if you are under the age of 18 or elderly. Do not take with any other stimulant or weight loss supplement or any prescription or over-the-counter medicine. Do not use if you are pregnant or
Yeah.
nursing or at risk of being treated for high blood
So, I mean,
pressure,
they're
heart
serious
disease,
about
hyperthyroidism,
this.
spasms,
They sound serious.
psychiatric disease, suffer from migraines, have asthma, or are taking asthma medication.
Or if you're human.
Also, if
Discontinue
you have
use
peanut
immediately.
allergies.
If you experience dizziness, headaches, nausea, or heart palpitations, if you have trouble sleeping, do not take within 6 hours of bedtime.
that's-
Thank you, warning label.
Now, what happens if I have an erection that lasts for more than 4 hours?
Didn't cover that. It says keep out of the
Stick it in the
reach
can.
Well, with
It'll
that,
probably
do
dissolve.
You want to do the honors here?
Uh,
Oh,
Do we want to talk about the bouquet?
seriously, it sounds like it.
punch me in the nostrils!
By the way, it has no sugar, so good luck, guys.
It's pungent.
It seriously sounds like a pre-workout though.
It smells like one of the
does.
sandals from 5 Guardians of David.
I
like
guess
Jell-O.
It's me this week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man.
But it's got
What do I even have to toast?
twist to it.
That awesome Hamano Pusheen I found for you.
You could toast Mine Ryan's 2-year friend
I think
anniversary.
that's a great thing to toast.
Yeah.
So I don't know or like either of these guys, but they met once.
Cheers.
I'll drink to that.
Cheers.
Thanks, Fieldy. Oh,
It is incredibly medicinal.
yeah. It tastes like the really old cough syrup that your mom would give you in a big spoon.
It's not even like terrible. It's just very sharp.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
It is sharp. It's very, very carbonated.
It's like if Mary Poppins mixed the spoonful of medicine and the sugar together.
It doesn't
Except
taste.
it has
It
no
doesn't
sugar.
taste terrible.
Yeah.
No, it's not bad. It's
I
kind of
thought-
raspberry.
No, it does.
It tastes like
Oh,
diet
it's
raspberry.
We'll see if any
So-
of you have like any symptoms in an hour or so.
It has a slight aftertaste, though.
I'm probably
Yeah.
only gonna have.
You have a
like
slight
6
aftertaste.
Thank you.
I'll have half the can.
This has been the Nas Minute. It took 4 or 5.
It always does.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It-
though.
Who can remind us what on earth we did last week?
We died.
I know. I don't think
Oddly, my memory is blanking out a little.
We met with the merchant.
It's just
guy.
an hour of
Yeah.
us all going.
Yeah, we met with the wizard fellow who's not a member of the Veiled Alliance.
It's true.
We tried to do a lot of information gathering and failed at a lot of
That's good.
information gathering. We basically ended up going on a trek around the city. We ran into some thugs that belonged to a gang that were beating up the guy that helped us with the shadow creatures. We
yeah,
almost
we
got
killed
them to
them.
kill each other, which would have been awesome, but we
Just
didn't
about that
quite.
much.
We didn't quite get it. We didn't quite get the rolls for that. I don't think. And then after that, we found out about the gang that we wanted to go investigate. So we went to their headquarters, pretty much.
Scouted them a little bit.
Scouted them a little bit. Ended up killing a couple of their members to find out more information, and we got some loot from them that has some weird, magically enchanted items that we haven't seen before or haven't encountered before that are attuned or something. Where if the wrong person touches them, they get burned.
If the right person touches them, they burn other people.
And I believe the point we're at is we're gonna go storm that place.
I believe there was a conversation about going to the headquarters of the Bloodfire Clan. That is correct.
So
Yeah, we're gonna wait for night. We were gonna wait for nightfall and take care of that.
Notably, Antoria assaulted somebody's mind and saw images of a Dray,
Yes.
a red
Oh yeah.
big Dray.
Yes.
with the
Read
boss.
thoughts is not really an
Yeah.
assault. Per se, just mind reading, just surface thoughts.
Yeah, the assault.
You've really come around on that
The mind
problem of
assault.
conscience we were talking about earlier in the week.
So, meanwhile, in the
He's
police
going with a lot
state,
of justifications.
the police state that is Antoria.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I think Amanu's bad.
That was me saying that, not Antoria. We were still in the recap.
But yeah, so
Oh yeah, Herbie is pure evil.
and then we sort of were like, well, at the end of the day, we're going to have to fight these dudes at some point.
Absolutely.
They keep getting in our way.
And they're in a location that's very convenient
Thanks,
for us, so it's like,
friend.
let's just go kill them all.
Just take care of that
No, thank you.
right away.
Sure.
I'm too health conscious to eat cookies as
Dude,
I eat
this
an
is so
entire
good.
pad thai and a piece of
Not
pizza.
after I'm done eating, probably.
Just to recap, Why is it that you're going to fight the Bloodfire Clan?
So we know they have some connection to, well,
House
at least
Shawn?
some theoretical connection to House Shawn or some of the things that are going on. And we've just bumped into them a couple of times. They seem
They're getting in the
a
way.
little wiggly.
Sammy
And
wants to get to the bottom of
Well,
what-
to be fair, if you're back in the Noble District, they're literally on the other side of the city from you.
Zami was pushing for it. She hasn't said why, but it's because she really just wants to find out if it's Roxy.
Well, Marvin
Fair,
ran
fair.
into them over at the arena when he was trying to gather information. We ran into them trying to gather information ourselves. We're going to keep running into them, and they're going to keep being in the way. We seem to have
I
decided.
thought that became sort of like our last option, also.
It
Yeah, I
kind of
didn't-
did.
I
We
didn't
we
remember
kind of
that.
we don't have a ton of handholds, and it was sort of like, well, we need to find out about this boss guy, and we could dick around interrogating people who seem to have some sort of mind block or something on them. Or we could just fucking kick in the door and
Right.
kill them. Like, why,
Well-
why fucking deal with a middleman and when we're just gonna kill them eventually?
We haven't
That's
burned
fair.
any buildings in a while.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
You're due.
and
It's
Cade
been a whole city since the last building we burned.
Cade is normally a little more reserved than that. But he's like, these dudes are like thugs who are wielding magic and stuff. Like, no harm in just stomping them into
And
the
honestly,
dirt.
the only other option we had left was trying to infiltrate House Shawn, which seems
It
dicey
seemed-
every time
yeah,
we talk about it.
We were worried about bumping into Ozzer, like, why don't we infiltrate? And then he's like, in the atrium. Oh, hi!
Right.
Smell
We
of Hamadu.
don't know if he's pulling the strings of House Shawn or not, and that could end really badly for us.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what their connections are. Cade is held the entire time that his sister is masterminding everything, but he also might have a skewed perspective, like where he thinks that everything relates to him in some way.
Not surprised.
He's like Sora just wandering around Kingdom Hearts. A sandwich! My sister was here!
Oh, that fucking game. To be
So
fair,
good.
Cade held out until he actually encountered evidence of his sister.
Sure, that's fair.
It's true.
Some was thrown in front of you. Okay, well,
So we were back at the
Noble House.
Noble House. Right?
yes, you are back at the home of Lord Diger, and it is approaching evening.
And
I
the,
think
the
Marcus
house
was
is
just eating while you guys
I think you've
were
just been
talking.
eating for the past
Yeah,
several
so I don't know.
hours.
I don't know
I
what's
think
going
the
on.
three
A
of
lot of
us
rice.
gathered to talk about.
the house
Well,
that
we were
has
checking out the thing. You
Artifacts.
identified.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we finished that. We figured out that they'll burn anyone who hasn't been through a specific
Yeah.
ritual.
And we sort of were like, well, if those dudes are their general population, then they're not that scary. Like the guy on the top floor is probably scary if he's making all these items, but like, how about he gets fucked? was our plan.
Sounds like a pretty sound plan, really.
No. Very how long do we have before a decent nightfall?
I would say that sun is beginning to set.
Okay, so we're already pretty close to nightfall. at this
I think
point.
so, unless
Okay.
you guys deliberately wanted to leave earlier than that.
Wasn't there something mentioned about the burning the Bloodfire Clan in the streets at night?
They do fight the shadows.
They
We
fight
actually
them?
we saw that, and
Okay.
and Toria saw that in their minds that they fought the
Yeah.
shadows.
Okay.
And Cade posed the possibility that that the shadows are being used as a recruitment method, because like supposedly these guys kind of came out of nowhere, and they're a bunch of divergent like groups that don't normally come together. So he's like, oh, somebody's scaring everyone with the shadows, and then using this as a way to gather a power base. Why don't we put a word pick through their face?
Let's see if we can figure out what's going on there. Alright. Cool.
Okay, then as night begins to fall, you leave the Noble District and set off through the streets and head back into the Warrens, back towards...
One sec. Before we leave the noble house.
You're back in Tyre.
Oh
my God.
Hold on, I didn't mean to hit. I didn't mean to hit
Tori's
the
a lich.
rewind. The rewind button that had the slide thing next to it.
That
Just the
was-
little one.
That was a
The
wrong
little
load.
one.
Hope you
State,
guys
yeah.
have your level 5 character sheets.
Oh no.
Oh.
Well. Oh wait, he just did.
He is dead. He's inexplicably still dead back in Tyre.
Uh,
What were you up to, Antoria?
All right, sorry. Everyone's starting to leave the noble house, and Toria kind of stops for a second, and he's quiet. He's kind of looking straight ahead, like he stopped and thought of something. Turns around and looks at everyone. It's like, we need to talk real quick.
Do you have?
Is it your friend anniversary?
I'll sigh a little bit, and be like, all right, what is it?
Is it about
It'll
your
be-
parents?
Oh, didn't we already talk? Well, I suppose that's wrapped up in it. Look, I feel like something's changed since Rom. we don't trust each other the same way we used to. And I realize there are definitely...
I ever trusted.
We only just met you.
Well, I don't know. Even considering that, before we went to Rom, things seemed a little better on this score. We're the only 5 who know what's going on in this world. Look, I've had some part in this myself. I remember I already did apologize for reading your mind earlier. Allow me to extend that apology again, and furthermore, there will be no more mind reading, consent or otherwise. After all, it's not like the rest of you could ask to read my mind, since I'm the only one capable of doing it, so...
Which, to be fair, no one's tried.
Yeah.
True. We'll forget about that. And I apologize again for doing it. To all of you, even though it was only to one of you.
Thank you, Notori.
Actually, you haven't seen my spell list yet, but...
Submit!
Hail to the Dray.
And I realize my startling change of appearance probably didn't help matters in that regard, but the explanation I gave for that is the best one I can offer.
Well, to be truthful, you were an ape before. The fact that you're a little younger is not that big of a change.
Well, actually, it is, but we can discuss it later. I appreciate that, though. And we've probably spent enough time on this. Let's go.
Well, we appreciate the sentiment.
Well,
We agreed that, yes, we should probably try our best to get along for the sake of Athos.
indeed, we're the only 5 who can fight this because we're the only 5 who know. Even the Veiled Alliance, when they found out, still wanted to pursue their political ends and wrong.
Surprise.
I can hardly believe they were wiped out here as well.
But, well, consider what I said before. There's better uses for your skills.
Toria shakes his head a little bit, doesn't refute it as strenuously as he might have in the past, and begins heading out.
Alright, well with that, you guys head off down the streets as night begins to fall. It's another day of the festival ending, and you note actually that there's maybe a little bit less festivity than you saw going on earlier today. And actually, compared to the previous...
got, like, double hangovers by this point.
Well, I mean, a lot of people you maybe would have thought would have had the opposite reaction of just like rally and just go for it. But actually, it looks like maybe there's a little bit more security walking the streets now. It looks like maybe they're taking this threat of the shadows a little bit more seriously. As a matter of fact, you start to see squads of Templars, usually a couple of Templars leading a brutish sort of 3 or 4 pack of these massive, dark-skinned half-giants, the Obsidian Wall that you'd heard of before, these incredibly powerful, incredibly silent killer half-giants that serve the Sorcerer King.
How big are they?
They are bigger than you.
Damn it.
You're pretty small.
When listening to like people walking through the streets,
Yes.
there's still a bunch of
7,
people out.
Yes,
I feel
absolutely.
around
Are we
average.
hearing like
7,
more and more
7.
people talking about like shadow creatures and things in the night? And
There's
like, is there like more fear like in the city than before?
people definitely seem a little bit more on edge. They're not really sure about what, but the fact that the Templars are like less about like here's some fireworks and more about like cause no trouble, go back to your homes past a certain hour. Like people are still allowed out, but it looks a lot more regulated, a lot more like there might be a curfew imposed past a certain point in time, in which is just kind of a downer.
The town is more subdued.
Something like that, yeah. But it is still a party, so people are trying their best to have a good time, and it's much less open revelry than you saw the first night.
I wonder if something else happened last night.
Well, we did do some things in the streets and maybe that drew some attention as well.
Possibly, but
I don't think it's us that they're concerned about.
no. I don't feel like what happened last night that we were involved in would have caused a citywide response like this.
I doubt it. Would this lockdown, to my knowledge at least, in any way affect our ability to use magic deep in the Warrens?
Not so far as you can tell. It looks like the patrols, such as they are, still don't extend into that part of town. They're not too worried about how secure the poor people's part of town is. But in the previous couple of days, it had been pretty clear that they were going to protect the central palace, and everything else was pretty extracurricular. They were going to protect the gates and the areas that were important to the Sorcerer King. Now they're on pretty much every major road. There seem to be like active patrols.
Guess they're taking things a bit more seriously.
It does seem that way. Well, The good news is that your friend, I suppose, seemed perfectly comfortable hurling lightning out of the depths of the warren. So
Sounds like he does it every night.
anything that we do out there should be just fine.
So, are you giving me carte blanche here?
I don't see why not,
Go for it.
unless you disagree.
Particularly once we're inside what's left of their building.
What if we assault their building from the outside? Just light it aflame.
I still think we should go from above.
Well, I would like someone alive to question, but
Well, if this boss of theirs is inside, I doubt he's going to go down with the ship.
Sure.
I think they at least expect an attack from above.
I have trouble believing that the top of this building, what we can see of it, is the only thing. I mean, it was half a ruin in the back. It's barely defensible. It feels like there has to be some sort of underground structure or something like that, maybe.
It's possible.
I couldn't see it from the air, but doesn't mean it's not there.
Makes sense.
Well, for the record, Marvin, I am preparing the spell that we talked about. So, if things get thick in there,
What spell was that?
protection from energy.
Protection from Marvin's.
So if things get thick in there, if we start getting overwhelmed, I'll say the word and try to gather them around me.
For that matter, if you see a shield of ice around me, feel free to use any fire around me that you wish.
I feel like you guys are finally warming up to.
Oh!
Please, I punch him in the face.
These aren't your dad's puns.
They're
What are you,
worse.
spike energy drink?
And then the atmosphere got cold.
Oh, I can feel that. Yeah, that definitely put a. That's. I'm done.
With no extra protection, Marcus looks at Marvin and says, "Please don't blow me up."
Just as the sun is beginning to dip past the edge of the horizon and the two moons begin their climb across the sky, you guys arrive back on the street where the manor, supposedly the headquarters of the Bloodfire Clan, is housed.
Where in the city is this again?
This
this
is-
I believe it's over here in the yellow area.
Oh, it's under the cookies.
Oh.
Cookieville.
Wait.
This is the central city, the Nagaramicon.
Yep.
These are the gardens that you walked through when you first arrived in. This is the main street.
Oh, it's flipped. Okay.
It is flipped, excuse me.
Okay, no problem.
The arena is over here. The inn that you guys are staying at was over here. The Warrens are over here. You're pretty much over here at this
Okay.
point. The Noble District is up here.
Elven Market, right?
Yep.
Right. Cool.
Take it down.
That's me.
I always use Marcus as our...
That's to
This is the
scale.
most visible.
I just figured, yeah, like from the top down, he's the most likely to see, so... Nice makes you
So-
when you can toggle those in Final Fantasy IV. It looks so cool, I always have to have him in front.
Yeah, so what's the plan?
So the building is in view right now?
The building is in view.
Okay.
There are torches lit outside. There appears to be a single guard.
Can you describe the guard?
I can.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Would you please?
You're welcome.
Thanks for the
Yeah.
intel, Marcus.
So, as a matter of fact, it appears to be a Terek, which were the pigmen that you guys encountered in Yarmouk.
works.
He's medium build.
That guy.
Yeah, well,
No?
yes.
Yeah,
one of
that guy's
those.
pretty
Yeah,
jacked.
kind of like that.
That's not a medium build.
Well, medium for Athos.
Medium by D&D standards.
Oh, all these starving people are jacked.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is their level of intellect in general?
If
They're
he-
orcs.
They're orc.
They're
okay.
pretty much orcs.
Terror orcs.
Call them orcs.
Brown.
Orcs can be brown.
I problem.
Just brown orcs in Warcraft.
Yes. Thank you.
Sorry.
It's all right. No,
Okay.
that's, I.
Really wants my food.
Yeah,
The
he's
Terex.
been trying to attack.
There's a
people.
single Terek out front.
Okay.
Actually, they can be great. They can be great too. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Fair
I'll
enough.
kind of look between the witches, and I'll be like, well, I don't know what you have to tackle this sort of situation, but from what we've seen so far, Marcus and I abreast could probably take this place.
Let's start that way. We'll save our powers for when things get out of hand. They probably will at some point, if for nothing other than sheer numbers.
Well,
Should we look for some sort of back entrance first?
Yeah, do we just want to? We're just
What?
shooting in the front.
The back is just a pile of rubble
Yeah,
for the
it's-
most
it's
part. I mean,
crashed
it's
in.
pretty high rubble. I don't know if you'd be able to get through it easily, but
I forgot that.
Is
it's okay.
the
it's alright, you've been eating a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is the
Road
guard
tired.
out there? Is it possible there's other guards around, or do you have a pretty clear shot at like? Yes, I know there's one guard for within 50 feet of this guy. Or
So the area in front of this place is pretty wide open. There's sort of a almost like a cul-de-sac out in front of the place, and there's the road headed down straight in front of it, and then left and right of it. Where previously you guys had seen a little bit of foot traffic, and then some people coming in and out of the building, and then through the colonnade and the windows, you can see a little bit of motion. Here it looks very, very deliberate, but it seems pretty much abandoned except for this one guy. And as a matter of fact, pretty much any other foot traffic has just given this area of town just a wide berth. Mind, it's past dark, so in this part of town, a lot of people are just shut up indoors. No one wants to be out with whatever might be stalking the streets. Yes,
What?
the tall one in the
What's the
back.
range on Brain Punch?
The range on Brain Punch, that's going to be 30 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you,
Unrelated
throw, you could throw your brain closer.
Sounds like how the characters in Bloodborne started getting into trouble.
Yeah.
Trying to do
What we
things
need
like
is
that.
more eyes.
More eyes. How far away from him are we right now?
Right now you're about 120 feet.
Alright. Well, I'm not going to try and sneak up there or anything, so...
I don't see
So-
much point based on what we've seen so far.
I was gonna say,
Are we just going to storm
conveniently
in, or do
the
we-
exact range of fireball.
Might be a bit of a waste to incinerate one Tarek.
We could
It would certainly
Don't
make
try
the
and
point
sneak
that we're
in.
serious.
sneak in from the windows or above or something else.
Everyone can give me a perception check.
So,
You know, we try sneaking in places, it never seems to work out.
We're very sneaky.
Well,
You're
wait, I've got a...
300 pounds.
Toria got a
270,
7.
thank you.
Tanger
You're
got a
welcome.
22.
Sorry, what?
Tanger got a 22 and Toria got a 7.
Okay.
13.
10.
17.
4.
You're 300 pounds. Tanger and Marcus can spot that this Tarek, you know, he's armed as, you know, any street hooligan would. He's got sort of a cudgel stashed away in his belt. But he's holding something. He seems to be holding a very large bell. It's almost comically big. The kind of thing that you'd expect a school marm to have.
Ah, the bell. That's how he summons help. Well, I could try holding him in place long enough to take it away from him. That would be the...
Have an idea.
What do you have in mind?
Is the horn blasting?
That broke the first time that it was used.
I
was so
I have
disappointed.
to get a little bit closer to him, but I think I might be able to break the bell.
Ah, I think I know the technique you're talking about.
Ah,
That could
bell
definitely
breaking.
work.
Let me hold both
Ancient
of you.
lost art.
Well,
And I'll explain that it's shatter, but I don't remember how loud it is.
if the bell is magical or an artifact, it also may not break.
Do you think that's an artifact bell?
It's probably not.
Zammy thinks everything is an artifact.
If I remember
Does think
right,
everything is
Oh, wondrous phenomena!
a bit of magic in everything.
Sorry. Would a 24 be enough to identify if shatter makes a loud noise or not?
Absolutely.
If that's the thing I'm thinking of, I think it is pretty loud. Doesn't it destroy by sound waves, in fact?
Let me check.
What
Louder
if
than
Marcus
the bell
cut
would
his
have been.
ear off and then we
A
killed him?
sudden loud ringing noise, literally the first words.
Good, that bell's taken care of.
Painfully intense erupts from a point of your choice within range. Mind, it's not the sound of the bell.
That's true.
Each creature in
Did you
a
hear something?
10-foot
Oh, like a
radius
bell, who
sphere
cares?
centered on that point must make a con saving throw.
In
Yes.
in Marvin's thought process, his goal is to get rid of Bell, and this is getting rid of Bell.
I got this grenade shaped like a bell.
It would get rid of the bell, but it probably would make as much noise. It was a good thought, though.
If Marcus cut his head off, it would be difficult for him to ring the bell.
It would be difficult
fine.
to do that before he rings the bell, though.
I'm not sure I can close the gap.
You don't have any like mind control, do you, Antoria?
Only to the extent of locking someone completely down, which would work.
Are you a?
Are you a lich?
Would an individual be alerted to the fact that you're trying to do that?
Definitely, but if we act quick, assuming it holds, that wouldn't matter because he'd literally be unable
Well,
to
how
do
would
anything.
he know? If you were hidden, what is the range on that?
It's relatively short range.
Oh.
We'd have to be closer, but moreover,
Maybe you could hide behind Marcus, who is
Not
gonna
stealthy.
chop his head off.
I don't know.
If you
I have a feeling
Well-
if it doesn't work, they'll be aware something happened. I've never experienced the spell myself, but
I could potentially make some of us invisible, but
some of us.
yes, 2 to be exact.
a pincer attack.
Mark is like,
That's a perfect number. Yeah.
Oh,
It takes
well,
2.
what do you feel about stripping off your armor for this?
Nice. I mean,
Hey!
Someone's gonna strip. That's cool.
Oh shit, my cover's blown!
well, what? And then what?
Well, it's sneaking up. Because, like you said, you're
And attack him
invisible.
or take the bell
What do you want a bell for?
so that he can't ring it.
Oh. I have nothing further to offer.
Marcus takes the bell and rings it for himself.
guys, no, I got it.
No, I'm holding the bell. I'm the good guy. No, I was
The only
you
problem
chop
is-
his head off, but you do so invisibly.
The only problem is if my attempt fails and he does ring the bell,
You'll
then I'm
surround him.
in no armor.
You know, we're probably going to have to fight everyone in there anyway.
Like, if
Starting to like the firebolt idea.
I take it back. I have a second, just thought.
I hope it involves
What's on your
cutting off
mind?
a limb.
I mean, even if you cut his head off, he might ring it when he falls down, right?
He might ring it when we set him on fire or subdue him from behind.
Right,
Even
so...
if we paralyze him, he might drop the bell.
Well, we could just take it.
We could just walk up to him and hope that he responds with an inquiry instead of immediately ringing the bell. The two of us can bash him completely to death in seconds.
I like the idea.
Hope that he doesn't drop the bell. And if he does ring it, what have we seen from these people that gives us any cause for worry?
Nothing yet, I admit. Numbers is the only thing that concerns me, really, but we can probably...
I'm not a
handle
math
even-
guy.
Well, that's alright. That's what the rest of us are here for.
Oh, good,
Well,
good.
most of the rest of us.
What if we paid him off?
Well, we
They
See,
act-
now we're talking. It's just one
I don't
guy.
know.
We give him the option. He can leave with his life and 10 gold, or he can die and ring a bell.
We can try it, but those ones we encountered
It might
in the
distract
alley,
him.
The ones we encountered in the alley acted really strangely. Like, they were willing
dumb.
to obscure information for their lives.
They
Like-
I don't
quite-
think it was for bravery.
They also seemed quite enamored with the boss.
I think it was more than enamored.
I've been thinking about this since, Hobo here got this off his chest, but I was really surprised that we stabbed that guy in the face.
Why?
He seemed simple of mind,
Yeah.
not like out and out evil. These guys seem like they're, being taken advantage of to a certain extent. Sure, they're gangers, they're not good people, but
Agreed.
I don't know, I'm just a sword. A talking, intelligent sword who thirsts for justice.
I admit, the one thing that's bothered me is that they are fighting the shadows. They must take incredible losses. I mean, you've seen them fight. Fighting the shadows can't be an easy thing.
Immediate losses.
I don't think they're necessarily our enemy either yet. We haven't determined that, but I mean, maybe we could just take the bell and incapacitate him.
Now, our goal in Nibene is not to bring order and justice to Nibene. Our goal is to access the pillar for the greater good of all of Athos. I'll sort of gesture to the building, be like, which, no offense, but I don't think that this gang is contributing to in any capacity.
The only thing they have for us that might be of use is information. Maybe there's a way to get it other than this.
Well, I'm very concerned about their leader, and I want to know more about
Has the guard fallen asleep
what a
yet?
Dray
Yes.
what a Dray is
Sleep.
doing in Nibene. in charge of a gang.
No, he's got headphones on. He's like,
What would happen
Oh,
if
even
we
better.
walked up and asked to join?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
what? Is it,
In the
what?
middle of the night?
Why
As
not?
a ploy.
Say that we're scared of the shadows and we've heard that.
Not that we're scared of them, that we want to help fight them.
You can drink that.
I don't know if they would have any use for anyone truly scared of them.
Well,
Perhaps
I suspect that these folks are truly scared
they-
of them. They were scared of us.
if they truly are led by a Dray member, perhaps I could approach and say I need to have word with them. I have an important message to deliver.
It's worth a shot.
Well, if they capture and torture you,
But you're on the blue team.
That's not,
Right. Damn.
I'm not convinced they're capable of that, really, based on what we've seen so far. The risk seems minimal.
well, I think that the risk from, unless they're obscuring some powers, the risk from these people is extremely minimal, regardless of how we approach this.
Then do we want to go up all together? Or send him on his own?
Her.
Or...
Let her lead. No weapons drawn.
Alright.
Alright.
Alright, very well.
I'll stay
Either
pretty
way.
close. I will have my shield out, not my weapon, but I'll
Sure.
stay pretty close to Zamitrix.
I'll
Right on.
approach.
Okay, and everyone else is following?
She's following
Yeah, behind.
a little bit of distance.
Like we're
Okay.
guards or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
But trying to give the impression that she's in the lead.
Right.
Okay, so as you're approaching you're not making any secret of your approach,
Right, I'll be
certainly.
like,
As you approach, he rings a bell.
It's like an absurd number of enemies pouring.
Fireball!
Good.
That's what we were waiting for.
No, that's not what happens. The Tarek sees you guys coming, but he's very clearly like,
Like, oh fuck.
Well,
he's got the bell in his hand, and he's got it, and he's like holding it up almost like it's the cudgel or something like that. You can sort of see it, the ringer is like,
Do you have any dice in there?
do I have dice in here? No.
You should put dice in there.
that's water. Now I can put dice in. They're slightly wet now, but they're dice.
There you go. There you have a bell.
Do I?
Not really.
It's a
Anyway.
sound maker. Noise maker.
I'll very warmly approach. Greetings. Please don't be alarmed. I'm here about your boss. As you can see, I am also of the Dray, and I have a very important message for him. It pertains to our people. Yes. See, Dray,
Does he
Dray,
speak?
and your boss, and I have word for him. It's very important.
I'm to ring the bell.
Why would you do that? I'm just simply telling you I have a message for your boss.
What kind of message?
It's very important. It's regarding our people. I don't think he'd want...
What people?
Come now. I mean, it's not often you see the Dray.
Surely he's talked at length about the glory of the Dray. Prologue.
Oh! Dragon folk, yeah, sorry. I don't usually think of you as people.
Fair enough.
There's no offense. Certainly the boss is. So you...
Well, I would like to speak with him. It's very
Are
important.
you his wife?
Not quite. I'm...
Lava. Sister?
Sammy sours a bit.
Mom?
Comrades.
Do you have a social check to
Sure.
give me of any kind here?
Yeah,
Or
I'll...
are you just going on the strength of your
I'll go
credible
with
argument?
deception, I suppose.
Okay.
Pretty good. 24.
24.
Get deceived.
Comrades. Yeah, like us.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all them.
They're here to help guard me, to make sure that the message I deliver reaches its destination.
Martin
It's very
Paz.
important, very sensitive.
In Draconic, Antoria says greetings and long life and bows.
What?
the language of the dragon folk. And I also repeat in dragon. In
What?
Draconic. Dragon.
How's he's not.
Also,
Also,
I'm
sister?
no. I've just long worked with the.
Comrade.
Yes, they've had dealings with the Dray as well, and they're here to make sure that I am protected.
After all, you're not a Dray and you helped the boss, right?
No, none of the rest of us are. Just all sorts, just being protected.
Look familiar? And Toria kind of inclines his head around to the group of us.
I mean, considerably better equipped, but
Well, Toria looks like a hobo.
Yeah, not the sort that looks like it needs protecting, but just, as you say, dragon folk, not every day. All right. Well, go ahead on in then. I gotta stay here. I got the bell. You see.
Very well. Thank you.
absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Mm.
And we'll go in.
All right.
And they just blunder around like I don't know what I'm
Fireball.
Can I
Fireball.
attack the wall and hit him through the wall? 'Cause I have weapons long enough and it just goes through.
Yeah.
Brain punch.
Bloodborne's got me really suspicious of people with bells.
Yeah.
He's out in front of the colonnade, so you guys pass the columns and go into the building itself.
I have a good eye out for ambushes.
Sure.
There aren't any.
There's
They're everywhere.
lots. There are a large number of ambushes. So once you get inside, what you discover is that while the exterior sort of looked like the shell of a civics building or a temple or something like that, it looks like the interior, what was once an extensive set of rooms, seems to have taken on a life of its own. It's almost like one of those interior kind of markets or something like that, where it's just been converted into massive numbers of living spaces and stalls and places where people set up shop or get high or just take care of all kinds of other business that they might want to have three walls surrounding them when they decide to take part. And it's almost this labyrinthian kind of system of just passages, and as you turn, there's just sort of... Excuse me?
I was laughing at your dog.
Oh, no, there's... all kinds of shut doors, but also there's stands and stalls and all kinds of market-type accoutrement. Notably, however, as much of this as there is, it seems like most people have either cleared out or are clearing out. As a matter of fact, as people sort of see you guys coming, they sort of shut their doors or duck around behind pathways. No one seems particularly interested in sticking around.
How are we supposed to find the boss in all this?
Is there like a central building then?
Not really. You're sort of... I mean, it's still about the height of a normal hallway or something like that. It's simply that the hallways keep going and forking off. And actually they seem to descend a little bit. You remember that the exterior had collapsed, but it seems to have almost grown underground to sort of compensate for that.
Alright. I guess we'll keep exploring and see if there's like a larger area or like something
Another
that
place with
opens
guards?
up. Yeah, perhaps more guards or somewhere that opens up to a larger, seemingly more centralized location.
Sure, why don't people give me perception checks?
Maybe where a boss would be.
Just looking for signs that say boss.
The boss of the game.
Yeah.
I got 23.
23.
22 and 12.
Damn.
22 and 12.
15.
11.
Got 11?
Is that like
Is that a
negative
one?
5?
No. Remember I posted in the thing.
Oh,
my
yeah.
perception was
You
miscalculated.
fixed your, yeah.
So I'm not going to be seeing nearly as much these days.
He lost his glasses.
Yeah.
At least he didn't lose an eye.
Left his contacts in ROM.
Give it time.
Yeah. Soon enough.
Well, between Marcus and Tanger, you're able not only to sort of figure out which paths seem to be better trod, but which paths almost seem to have... There's not really signposts or anything like that, but there seems to be maybe like thieves' markings or something like that, sort of scratches on the wall that seem relatively consistent. There's sort of a path laid out on the street corners as you begin proceeding through, and you're able to start making best guesses and sort of ducking down a particular way and seeing if that happens to lead in a certain direction. And before long, actually you've gone maybe like half an hour or so. You've sort of descended almost into the interior of the city.
Rather extensive.
It's not spiraling down necessarily, but it's taking you in all kinds of turnarounds while it works further and further down.
We're definitely like under the city.
Yes, absolutely. You're in the... remember, Nibene is a very, very old city. It's like 3,000 or 4,000 years old.
Could I tell if we've been heading towards the wall or away from the wall?
You were definitely heading towards the wall when you first came in,
Okay.
but you've been going all kinds of different directions since moving in.
Um,
So far as you can tell, you're probably still under the same area of the city. You haven't changed districts or anything like that.
the people that we've seen, do they have like distinct markings that do they have like a Bloodfire Clan like
Not that
emblem?
you've seen, no.
Nothing.
Logo?
Okay.
Which we determined they didn't have before.
Oh, okay.
No, they don't have team jerseys.
They're basically identified by being mixed races.
Working
essentially.
together. Kind of like us.
Yeah.
Cool.
Before too much longer, you find yourselves at a very large stone door.
Well,
Any guards present?
There are no guards present, however, there are lit torches on either side. And there is a large stone crossbeam set in the side.
interesting.
Crossbeam like so it's locked.
Yes.
Oh.
But locked on this side.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should make sure it's safe first.
Try knocking on the door.
Yes.
We're supposed to be
Is
here
it
as friends.
like solid stone?
It is,
I
yes.
suppose, but
But it's locked on our side.
It is.
Yeah.
This is a
So
little...
presumably keeping things out or in from
It
the
is
side.
strange.
I don't know that knocking is what I want to do to
Right.
something that's being locked in this way.
I'm also worried if perhaps there's some deterrent to keep people out as well.
If there's something immediately on the other side, I might be able to sense it, but if the room's big enough, that wouldn't be reliable.
Is there any being in our near vicinity?
What? I'm sorry?
Is there anybody in our vicinity, like near the
Just
door?
There's Cade. But no one else that you've seen in the past 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
We stuffed Tanger under the door.
That's the
Troy-
secret.
and
That's how
Troy-
everyone gets through.
Troy will look on the
Slide him
ground
under,
to
then
see
use
what kind of
the
tracks
Bloodfire.
are in the area.
Okay,
I guess that's investigation-y, right?
sure.
Maybe survival.
Well, if
23?
23, it looks like there are a great many steps leading in and out of the door.
Heavy traffic, whatever it is.
something's being sealed inside and knocking is enough to inspire it to break out, then it would probably already be out.
Well, it's not necessarily that, it's that if there is something behind here, we can have a jump on it. What if it's some horrible beast that they have to feed on a daily basis?
That would have been
Well,
an excellent thing.
like
for
Marcus.
There are many. You said there were many footsteps here, right? As
It's
though
very
much
heavy traffic.
Traffic went through.
In and out, I might add.
Um,
Not just into the door and back.
It seems like this area people come through here regularly, so
To
perhaps.
feed a terrible beast.
If it was that terrible, you'd think
Alright.
there would be some kind of opening in the door, maybe, but maybe that would put it at risk of breaking out. I don't
believe,
know.
I believe we should knock. Actually.
What are they gonna do? They can't open the door.
They could answer
Marcus
intelligently.
is just gonna go like that on the door.
Yeah.
On the door?
On the door.
Okay. A trapdoor opens up beneath you.
Goodbye, Marcus.
Okay.
Give me an acrobatics save.
Acrobatics save.
Uh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I'm actually really good at
Of course you are.
Got a 24.
24.
And I think I
Yeah.
oh yeah, I can re-roll failed ones.
Well, you succeeded.
Good.
You managed to grab the
It
ledge.
runs in the air for a second.
Yeah,
Okay. I'd like to pull myself up.
you do so with
Excellent.
ease.
Like just to my feet.
Well, that was unexpected.
Well,
Just stick the landing.
interesting.
The trapdoor closed again yet, or is it still just hanging out over?
It is hanging out open for the moment.
What's down at the bottom?
You can't see the bottom.
Do you want to send us a bit of fire down there?
Yes, light Tanger on fire.
Well, can Tanger see anything down there? He has better eyesight.
How far can he see? Actually, other people have abilities to see
I have
things.
Yeah.
dark vision.
To
60
how-
feet.
He
He
has,
can't see the bottom.
Okay.
Okay, he has dark vision 120.
Okay, he can see the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's deep, but there is a bottom.
There are bones.
There are bones at the bottom.
Well,
This seems very weird. Why
can
would
I
they
tell?
lock the door on this side but have a trap on it? as
It also
well?
seems completely irrelevant to what we came here for.
Well, we're here.
unless we
Maybe
try-
there's some magical artifacts we can get.
Victoria will try investigating the door.
Sure.
To see.
Am I able to tell whether that triggered based on me stepping there or like?
It didn't happen until you hit the door.
Okay.
20 for the investigate on the door.
20. What are you investigating particularly?
Trying to figure out what the trap is, just investigating, like checking for traps, basically.
Okay. It appears to have some sort of a physical sort of tremor sense kind of trap, where anyone that tries to physically interact with it seems to set off the very large pit, which by now is finally closing up.
Huh. Oh. How, and what the bar that's across it, how heavy does that look?
It looks very heavy.
Okay, it's not mage handleable.
Is there
Like a
any,
rock that has the weight of 2 rocks.
Is there any space in front of the door where, knowing where it opened, that somebody could stand and still?
Not directly in front of the door. The pit seems suspiciously large. That said, there's plenty of room in front of it. You're maybe in like a 30-foot wide type area. The pit maybe occupies maybe only about a third of that.
Okay. Well,
Want to try your spell now?
I don't think that's a good idea.
You said it was a how thick of a thing was it? The bar.
Oh, so it's like the size of a cinder block up on its side.
Yeah. So
and
I mean,
out.
I don't suspect 24 points of damage would be able to break through that.
Even if it was specifically against inorganic objects, though? Because that's Shatter's specialty.
Well, I guess it does double damage.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to put a crack down through the middle
Have
of
we
it,
looked
that
for
seems
another way to
reasonable.
open this yet? I mean, maybe there's a trigger or a command or something.
I could try checking for magic, but it seems like it's just a physical trap, but no harm in trying. I'll start 10 minutes of...
No, they just have double
Detect magic.
damage.
During
It's
those
not
10
double
minutes, I'll see if I
damage.
can find like a
Probably not.
switch or a button or something else, I guess.
Okay.
Let's investigate.
Is there any like crack in the door or anything that we can even just see like sliver of darkness through?
You can see light on the other side of it,
Light
as a
on the
matter of
other
fact.
side, okay.
We got a 14.
Of 14, you don't find any triggers or panels or anything like that. And what are you doing? You're detecting magic?
Yep.
There does appear to be some sort of a magical sensor on the door itself.
Huh, it is magical.
Yep.
Well, there's a lot of magic with this gang.
More than
Shouldn't
I
really be
expected,
surprised.
even after what we've seen.
Can you disable it?
I suppose I could try.
You can give me an Arcana check.
Alright. 19.
19. So the sensor seems to be attuned to a particular energy type. Seems like something applied to the door enables it to open.
Ah, of course. Victoria shoots a firebolt at the door. It was attuned to fire, of
So-
course.
Naturally.
This Dray, you believe to be your friend?
There's a
Well-
long stairwell on the other side with torches along the path.
Evidence seems
play
to be
shadow
mounting in that direction, yes.
What do you mean evidence is mounting in that direction?
Well,
What about this makes you confirm that it's your friend? Because it's seeming an awful lot like the Herald of Fire.
I don't know about that, but I also don't know many Dray that have as many eccentricities as he does like this.
Eccentricities.
He was
Anything
dressed-
you want to clarify?
He was dressed
He loves
strangely
fire.
in
Yeah.
the vision I saw, which Andori did mention.
Which I assume Zammy would know that, right, Brendan?
Yeah, absolutely.
He likes
You know all
fire.
about this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Likes fire.
Well, she likes ice. Maybe dragon can have natural attunements to elements.
Well, it is true, and actually,
But she hasn't built an
It's one of the
entire
many
house out of
qualities
ice.
that very people endorse.
speaking of, should things come to a fight, which I almost certainly don't believe they will, I'm just going to let you know now, your fire abilities probably aren't going to do much to him.
This won't do much either.
Like, well-
To wash.
He's not
Sammy,
protected by the grace of Hamanu.
You
Same.
seem rather interested in whoever this is. I just want to know that you're not gonna switch sides.
That's
when...
actually reasonable.
Oh, no, never.
Do you say that with such a smug look on your face?
Zammy says everything with that expression.
Yeah, actually, she does. She's like,
She's a crocodile. She only has one
we
expression.
have a mission to save Athos. It is far more important than anything else.
You can insight that if you feel like
Excellent.
it.
It is.
All inside.
It is difficult to imagine anything taking a higher
13.
priority over
Guess I'll do
saving the
deception.
world. What goal is relevant if the world is destroyed
Wait,
in a couple
you're
of
actually
years?
wrong. Deception.
Yeah, sure. 14.
I got 13.
But
You buy it, hook, line, and sinker. Amazing.
Toria wasn't interested enough to insight check it,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
not happening. You're good.
Of course.
I mean, again, we're supposed to be on the same mission, which is stop the Farhells here in Nebene from whatever they plan to do. Of course, that was before we knew anything about the pillars, and that just is something he needs to know.
I hope he hasn't somehow fallen for their lies about turning Athos green by this means.
Or
Well,
hasn't known about it for a while.
That's what I want to know too. Is these
You guys
methods-
are heading down the stairs as this goes on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. As you continue on, there's sort of a dull roar down the stairs that you can hear. It sounds like there's some different sort of party going on further down the steps.
When you say roar, you don't mean like a dragon.
I don't mean like a dragon. I mean like
It's like a
number.
continuous.
Yeah,
Okay.
like an arena or
Okay.
like a
crowd.
like a concert, like a Bon Jovi concert.
I love Bon Jovi.
Yeah,
Well,
he's all right.
Some sort of
Singing
ritual
poorly.
was mentioned.
Even for Rock 6, these methods seem a bit extreme and almost like he's perhaps.
I'm not certain that you know your friend as well as you.
Well, that's what I'm worried about. Is that perhaps he's gone off and
And I'm gonna
started his own thing.
I'm gonna stop and like hold up his hand to get people to stop so we don't bust in on Bon Jovi while we're in the Like, to clarify, Zamitrix, something you never told us. What happened with you and your friends? Why aren't you all in the same place?
Well, we were separated. There was a great sandstorm, and we were on our way to Nibene, but we were sent by the Dray Collective. There's a group that gathers and figures out the best course of action for the Dray and just keeps a watch on what is going on in Athos.
The mods.
Mods. Yes. And our superiors basically sent us to investigate Nibene, and we've come into information regarding the Farhells and their activities. And although we don't know their goal, or at the time we didn't know their goals, we just knew that for whatever reason they were infiltrating different cities across Athos, and we were very concerned about.
You got separated by a sandstorm.
Yes.
Did you know Roxas before this?
Yes, he's not the friendliest fellow.
What was your relationship like?
Sister?
Sister, lover, no.
Mom?
Well, to be honest, we didn't get along that well, and I actually kind of hated his guts. But
Wait,
Lovely.
Well,
wait. Why are you
friends?
interested in him again?
They're still allies on the same mission.
our cause is the same. We're still on the same mission, and
we'll see about that.
Well, yes, that's what I'm concerned of.
So essentially what you're saying is that we have absolutely zero call to trust this person.
Yes.
Alright, now that that's established,
Well,
let's continue.
And then they left the building.
But please, let it come. If it should fall to us having to fight him, please don't just outright kill him. We really need to.
we at
do what
least
it
need to
takes.
read what's
I'm
in
one
his
step
mind.
ahead of you.
But
Yes, fortunately we have easy access to that sort of thing, but if he turns out to be the Herald of Fire,
I
the Heralds
sincerely
usually
doubt
have
that.
ways of disintegrating before we kill them and
Yes.
turning into horrible things.
I
So
have noticed that.
we probably wouldn't get to interrogate that one.
Well, regardless, I don't think any of us are stepping down this stairwell with the intention of killing your friend, but
It's kind of been nice not having to fight our way through the hordes of peasants who are above us. There was at least that gained.
yes, that would have been a waste of our time for certain.
But
Sammy, do you have any friends? Like real friends?
please,
So. No.
I do have another friend, but he's back with the rest of the Dray. But anyway, that's not important.
You're right.
Well, let's see what's going on downstairs.
Yes, let us do that.
I'm gonna, like, pull my cloak open
Oh,
so I have
and-
easier access to my pick.
Should we meet Roxix, let me do the talking. I'm actually rather surprised he's working with so many non-Dray. He also didn't.
Well, near as we can tell, he's sending them to their deaths in the darkness.
Well,
So,
again, that does
Working
seem like
with-
something he would do. So
Working with
well,
might be putting it a bit strongly. Oh.
very well. It's your friend, your ally. If we encounter him, I'll let you do the talking insofar as that seems beneficial to our group. And we'll continue on.
Give me a perception check, Cade.
Just me?
Yeah.
Just me?
Yeah.
I think I have my old perception.
Sorry, no.
It was wrong. 15. God damn it.
All of this are just Cade.
No, the entire staircase
Okay.
God damn it.
turns into a ramp.
Remember when we did
Always.
this before?
Yeah.
Well,
It's a mini game. You have to collect the stars.
Yeah. I will, at least on the way down, at least cover my head with my shield, because I think I was marching behind Zamitrix, which means Marcus is behind me. So,
Well, that's gonna be fun.
yeah.
well,
Yep.
You guys tumble down into a pit filled with skulls and spikes. Not everywhere, just around the perimeter.
Just to spice the place up.
Yeah, just decorative spikes. Surrounded by a rising set of bleachers, basically. Just seats where you can see all manner of ruffians, all sorts of bizarre outcasts and hobos and other ne'er-do-wells drawn from
Oh, I'm
the
down in
warrens.
the arena. It's not me.
It may not be an arena yet, we haven't done confirmation.
Sitting at the head of the arena is a large stone throne, also surrounded by skulls, where seated is a massive and absolutely towering red-scaled dragonborn, with a terrific set of golden-shaded scales set on one shoulder, exposed, but massively decorated. He's wearing basically like the colonel, the senior colonel's version of like power armor. He's got this massive studded leather. He's got these twin, wicked-looking iron blades, and he roars with laughter as you cascade down into his pit. Walk into my home, will you?
Rocks.
Welcome!
Well, I assume we're in the middle of the arena.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna push to my feet. Like, Zamitrix!
Rock 6?
Zamitrix!
What are you doing?
What are you doing here?
Pull out my war pick.
The Far Heralds, Rock 6. The Far Heralds. Here to stop them.
I have stopped them.
Already?
Of course! I got here months ago. On schedule.
Well,
Digs around behind him. Pulls out this trophy and... Yes!
Right here!
I moved! Kill the Far Herald!
actually, he pulls out a book. He pulls out a book and some spectacles and says, "Actually, I."
Yes, Bill's actually is always what happened. No, he pulls out a bracer and tosses it down into the pit, where it rolls up to your feet. And you can see that it's a shining copper bracer with the Far Herald logo, in fact, emblazoned upon it. It seems to have quite a lot of dried blood on it, and actually some crusty... It looks like maybe salt. Looks like there's quite a bit of just like caked on there. It looks like maybe it was like scorched on, maybe like by fire or something like that.
And he never cleaned it either. It looks like it's a little burned, a little charred a bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. Also,
Weak!
do I know how like his combat abilities? He's pretty.
Do you know what level Roxix is? Is that what you're asking?
Well, not necessarily that exact, but I assume he's.
Roxix was a legendary warrior when you
That's what
came
I
out of
thought.
the egg.
legend.
Yeah. That's what I seem to recall.
Are we legendary?
No, you're Paragon tier.
Literally no one knows who we are.
Yeah.
No, some people have
Some
heard of the
people-
bear that was in the arena.
We need to,
Yeah.
we need to read
That
theirs.
bear who was chasing us was pretty famous.
He apparently
Did
belonged.
fly.
He apparently belonged to some kind of squad or something, but no one knows.
Dead now.
Yeah. But the world isn't.
Who are these miscreants that you have brought to my fortress?
Well, we've dealt with the Far Heralds that were also in Rom, and they've helped.
Rom!
Yes, it's a terrible place.
Why did you go there? It's terrible.
Or Far Herald.
You had orders.
I did, but it was on the way, and I've come upon.
On the way.
I've come upon some new information
It's
that is.
on the other side of the estuary,
Yes, well,
which is like a peninsula but backwards.
we got quite separated, and I got
vocab
quite off
word.
track from where we were supposed to end up. But I've come across.
Where's Pleaser?
No.
He knew how to obey orders.
Like,
Please, that didn't survive, Rom.
Didn't survive!
No. We
And
had
you did.
Yes.
His eyes audibly roll.
I've come across some new information.
What a waste.
Very, very important to us, the Dray, and all of Athos. The Varherald's plan is far greater than we ever imagined. They're planning to wake the Great Sand Kraken, and it will bring
Dust Kraken. And Toria kind of...
Zamitrix of all characters would know that.
It will bring destruction to all of Athos, if they're allowed to do
I will bring destruction to all of Athos.
Wait.
What?
Well,
Why?
But what about the Dray and our mission?
The Dray shall ascend. In the name of the Dread King, I shall rule this city.
Well, yes, of course.
Look at these idiots. Look.
Okay.
Boss. And all of them seem to be waving around, dimly lit sort of weapons that seem to have, cantrips and stuff coming off of them with
So
all kinds
they
of...
all call him Boss. So
Absolute
don't say his name.
boss.
Big Boss.
Roxix holds up a hand. The Far Heralds will fall behind the might of the Dread King, as you well know.
Oh, yes. But what are your intentions here? Are you gathering an army for this purpose?
Those bastards of Sham have brought the shadows to this horrible place. This fodder shall serve as my shield as I break their strength.
Well, it's...
excuse me.
A good idea, I know.
Yes.
You always liked my ideas.
Yes, they're always so straightforward.
They were.
Yes. Also very brutal. That's your style.
Who are these miscreants you have brought to my fortress?
They've been very helpful in dealing with the Far Heralds, and we all share a common cause in that. We don't want to allow the Far Heralds to run amok and bring destruction to
Good. Service to the Dread King will bring peace to the world.
Well, no need to be shy about casting on this one.
Well, they don't know about that yet, but yes.
They will soon. Tell them.
Yes, Zamitrix, do tell.
I'd rather not. He's...
Too bad.
In Draconic, Antoria takes a quick opportunity to interrupt. Actually, you're mistaken about House Sham. They are victims of the shadows as well.
It's commenting on his
Your accent is terrible.
The tongue does not come naturally to me.
Yes,
as you
yes,
might
as my
imagine.
friend here is saying, House Sham also has ties to the Far Heralds, we believe. There's, what was the name of...
But they are being attacked by the shadows as well, which was the point I was trying to make here.
Sham are liars and charlatans. They
Yes.
ply their trade on deceit. They plan to steal the city. The Sorcerer King has not been seen for 100 years. They plan to rule. But this place is mine.
This one here is related to one of the ones we are very certain is quite certainly, almost possibly a Far Herald himself,
Related.
who has infiltrated...
Sister?
who has infiltrated...
Anything goes!
Follow now on twitch.com.
I'm forgetting the name of the city you were from now.
Uric.
Uric. Who has infiltrated Uric and has cast away this one, and this one only wants to help our cause and help destroy the Far Heralds as well, as his sister has,
Spectacular.
dishonored him.
Kneel and swear fealty to the Dread King.
Antoria is reaching for his components.
Like, so can we stop this and just kill him already?
Kill me.
It may not go as well as you think. As much as he boasts, he is quite powerful, and he does share our cause.
Yeah,
We're gonna talk.
I agree. I think we should
After fashion.
ally with him and get to the pylon.
He's powerful. He could be a great asset in the fight against the Far Heralds.
But I'm not kneeling down.
In Draconic, Antoria addresses the king again. Did you secure the pillar then, when you defeated the Far Herald?
Yeah, he
Question marks.
doesn't know about the pillars.
Pillars?
None of the Dray do. I only found this.
I have no time for architecture.
The pillars are what allow the Far Heralds to summon the Dust Kraken, and we need to find them so we can deactivate them so that no one else can activate this dust kraken mechanism or whatever it is.
It's possible he'd already activated it before you killed him. If that's the case, we still need to take care of that.
This idiot was busy taking care of the wizards that supposedly protected this city.
I'm aware of that.
I ate his head, and then his heart,
Well,
That's
thank
just-
you.
and then I lit him on fire.
So very Roxix.
Yes, I am great.
Yes. That's...
Fine, do not kneel. Serve as my captains.
What's the pay?
The pay is good. You get weapons that light things on fire.
Marcus, let's please.
That's not that. I turned to Toria and I said, "That's the best reward we've been offered since we've been together."
I mean,
There was that book, but it is pretty good.
honestly, he's also our best lead so far in this city as to possibly being able to find the pillar. It's not a terrible idea.
So are we for joining the noble cause?
That sounds like a
I want
yes.
to find the pillar.
Marcus is going to step forward and say, I will assist you.
We got one. boss. We got one.
But,
I'll step forward also.
but Roxix,
Ah,
there's a condition.
you're a condition.
If we help you,
You serve me as is.
we need to go to other cities and also make sure that these pillars don't get out.
I need to do nothing. I will take this city and use its might to take whatever I want in Dragoth's name.
We could act as your agents in other cities and forward this cause.
Understand my offers to these fleshlings. You are my subordinate.
Yes, I am.
You will do as I command.
Yes.
I turned to Kay and said, "That's a wet noodle."
You get the.
Kay
you,
doesn't
you get
laugh.
this. You get the. You all.
You
get
don't
this,
get a weapon that lights things on
You all
fire.
get the distinct impression that Zammy has been through this before.
Yeah.
Several times.
He's like the angry stepdad. Come on, look, where's your
Sister.
Throws a bottle against the wall.
Pick that shit up.
And an aside, mostly to Marcus, since he's the only one who's accepted so far, and Toria
I've accepted
says,
also.
Oh, okay. Do remember there's a ritual involved in this somewhere that might be more binding than you were expecting.
I'll turn to Roxas and say, "Is there any sort of ritual?"
There is.
What is that?
It's
entail?
great.
What does it entail?
Listen. You don't have to swear fealty immediately, but I encourage you to do so at a later date. It unlocks all kinds of advantages.
A new clan has been unlocked, or a new.
Once you hit revered status,
Yeah.
you can start to get some of the really good stuff.
We have some excellent crafting recipes.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
What spec are you?
A new faction has been unlocked.
That doesn't sound so bad, Antoria. So when do we get these weapons?
Well, do we have a consensus?
Yep.
Quite honestly speaking, I'm not sure we can fight our way out of this. He is actually quite powerful.
Well,
You guys can check. You guys can make a roll for it.
Marcus is going to...
I don't know if you guys want to roll the perception or something to see what you think, if you want to size them
I
up.
suppose insight would be appropriate.
Sure.
Marcus will say to Shivram, how do you feel about being imbued with fire?
It's been a while since I had a status effect applied to me.
19 on the insight check? Oh, sorry.
I mean, Roxix absolutely seems to believe everything that he says. He seems intent on conquering Nibene and wielding the city against every other city across the Tablelands.
I think you meant for sizing them up.
Torius, did you think about it? What was
Oh, about whether or not
his
you guys can
strength
take
level,
him?
yeah.
I mean, that's less insight, I think. Give me a perception check.
Alright. 7, even though it's the
Oh,
same
man.
stat and bonus.
He's red.
Ah, right on. Well,
Red
on the
is
other
red.
hand, it's better than a Sorcerer King being in charge.
Is it?
Doesn't matter.
It does.
You specifically said what's happened here is none of our concern. We're after the pylon. This guy seems like he's the greatest source of obtaining said pylon.
If we can secure the pylon and then leave, it doesn't matter what we say to this person.
Yes, exactly.
As long as you're not planning to make this
Roxix,
your
if I may, also
I
regarding the
have any
glory of
choice
the
in
Dread
it.
King, and yes, Dragoth is infinitely great in all of his power and
Yes, I know.
majesty, but
Yes.
You do remember we're not quite exactly supposed to be advertising this or broadcasting this to everyone.
That was before I knew what weaklings lived here on the surface.
Well,
Look at these. Look at this one. He calls over the small, like, rat person.
rips his head off.
Weak!
Well, yes, but,
Frankly, he seems an awful
Even
lot like
then,
a Sorcerer King now that I
remember, the Sorcerer Kings themselves, you know, if they banded together, even they pose a threat to Dragoth.
Indeed.
Well,
All the better reason to become a Sorcerer King myself.
oh dear.
Behave yourself and maybe I'll make you one too.
I should have seen
We can all be Sorcerer Kings, why not? You get a city! You get a city! Everyone gets a city!
Wish it were that simple.
How far away is this guy?
He's maybe 50 feet away.
Okay, just checking.
That's fine. That's fair. That's
For
fair.
reasons.
So are we all good? Everyone
Yes.
step up. Come on, Antor, we did your veiled crap alliance for so long. The least you could do is get a fire weapon.
Well, at least Roxix is direct and has a plan.
That's
Unlike the
true.
Veiled Alliance.
That's true, Zanny.
I do.
I'm not the only one. Tori's not the only one who hadn't been convinced.
Yeah.
But kind of focus firing, which is an admirable strategy.
Even if the plan is a bit loose.
The plan is very specific.
Yes, crush all of our enemies.
No. I have scouted this city securely. The shadow creatures do not frequent the Serpent Tower, where those Sham agents have been seen, that bastard Mull that has arrived in town.
Oh yes, we've had run-ins with
Indeed.
There you
I
go.
shall eat his throat.
That
That would be
sounds
excellent.
great. Cade's in.
Do you know him?
Kate's only smiles.
He sucks. He's so terrible.
Familiar with him.
I'm just saying, maybe a fire weapon would be a little useful.
Could be useful in the fight against
Just
your
promise
sister.
me your forever loyalty. Dread King is awesome.
Although,
Yes? Quit your mewling! Grow a spine for once in your life.
Hamanu might not appreciate.
Hamanu! Are you a convert?
No, never. Dragoth is.
Have you kitten's ears under that cowl of yours?
Pushing, no.
Sammy is Fushin. No, never. I mean, Dragoth is the one and only Lord I
Prove it then!
Ritual.
He waves over another, actually, this is another of these small rat folk. These are called Tari.
Are they kobolds?
They're not kobolds. They're about the size of the kobolds. They're a little bit more pathetic looking.
More pathetic looking.
And then extends a hand to Zami. Come! Come!
She'll kind of inch forth meekly.
There!
Roxix, you know I have
Lunch!
violence for no reason.
You are a superior being. Prove it!
While true,
I'm beginning to wonder.
everything can be
Would that
used,
Pleasa had lived and not you?
even if they are inferior beings, they still have their use. Even the weakest of weak can be helpful to us.
This one is useful as lunch. Aren't you, little guy? He clearly doesn't know what's going on.
He doesn't speak English. I won't kill him. Roxix, for no reason. You know this. I won't do this.
Mediocre. Just blood dripping from his jaws.
And Torio looks up at
Spitting blood all over your face.
our red dragon friend, and in Draconic.
Yes, the dragon friend.
Yes, dragon friend. In Draconic, which
Yes.
is only Zami, he says, I will not serve you, but I will aid you while our interests align. You need give me no weapon. I have no use for it anyway.
Do you have a social check of some kind to make?
Here, let me make a social check. I'm good at those. persuasion. 2.
What is that total?
2!
He eats his head.
Yeah. Marvin's like, boss.
A bold offer from such a timid creature.
Does he say that in English?
Yes,
Common?
absolutely.
English.
Yes.
I look timid. He snaps his fingers and begins to transform rapidly.
Okay.
Oh shit! It's more turtle.
I assume you turn into several cats.
Machine, to be exact.
He transforms into
Oh, that's awesome!
He transforms into a Tyrannosaurus Rex in the middle of the arena.
Oh,
Looses.
dear.
Roar!
Didn't
Well-
he say he was harder to control like
Yes, I
that?
think he
He
did.
didn't say that.
Oh dear.
He's not out of, he doesn't seem out of control yet. He roared once, but now he's looking steadily at the warrior.
How tall is
Slowly moving his hands to his swords, but he's also grinning like crazy.
Hold.
T-Rex is... Oh, hold on. Okay, so what you're going to do while I'm looking this
All right,
up.
hold. There's no need to fight. Everything's okay.
Marcus is just entertained by
What
all
manner of
this.
slaves have you brought me?
15 foot tall, since it was asked.
Some
15-foot tall slaves, thank you.
Some of these members are also able to cast spells and are magically inclined, like I am.
That one's blue. What's up with that?
Again, magically inclined. He's very powerful.
Willing to
He's already...
do whatever it needs.
He's on
to
board.
get
He swore loyalty. He gets a weapon.
I get a weapon.
And he also likes fire much like you do.
Indeed, maybe we could share.
Swap stories of how you
Yeah.
burned your friends.
Well,
What are your favorite kinds of fire, friend?
Knowledge. The ones that kill people.
Yeah! I get the feeling we're gonna have a
Match
friend-iversary.
made in heaven.
What about this behemoth that's literally in my house?
Well,
Talking about Marcus.
Which one are we talking about?
Marcus is already on his side as far as
Yeah.
he's concerned.
well,
He's trying to figure out what's up with these two dudes that won't bend the knee, and that one
What turned into a dinosaur?
turned into a dinosaur.
That at least
Wait,
took
who
the
has
fire
it?
up, kid. Like no one.
I thought you were 4.
I mean,
He
he's
hasn't
sort of
said
muttered
anything,
something,
right?
but he hasn't said anything.
No,
Yeah.
he hasn't spoken up.
He's,
I will admit,
he's not turning into a T-Rex as a hostile action, which is
my
pretty
friends-
chill.
Yeah.
my friends here is simply trying to show you his power.
Friend!
Yes, it's a comrade, much like we are. We're all in a common cause against the Far Heralds, and although he may not serve Dragoth yet, I mean, there's always a possibility in the future. But
Possibility? Zamitrix,
Yes.
I get the feeling you're not 100% behind our mission here.
I am. I just like to go about it a different way than you do.
Badly.
A little bit more subtlety than you're always straightforward.
Yes, Zamitrix Soleros, known across Gustanal for her subtlety.
I've made mistakes.
Remember when you lit the lab on fire?
Yes.
Remember when you lit the library on fire?
That was not entirely my fault, but yes.
T-Rex retains enough of its mental state from its original owner to laugh a little bit at the laugh. It rolled a 20, finally.
He would normally laugh at Zammy's expense, but he's pretty tense right now. So
Alright, you know what? I'm on board with this T-Rex fella.
Roar!
Well,
All eyes on you.
You're pretty quiet.
that is one of my traits. He says
not
unironically,
Not so much, actually.
full of self-awareness.
I am not.
Well, we have a shared mission, and I'll gesture to the T-Rex and be like, and I trust Amtoria before most anyone else.
Granted, that's not really Amtoria.
Wait, which one is his normal form? The walking around like a person or like this?
I'm not sure.
T-Rex doesn't retain enough mental state to understand that entirely.
Be like,
You just keep staring
He
at
sees
the
a
guy.
butterfly and starts chasing it.
We'll at least see this through to destroy
They'll
Rom.
fly.
We'll at least see this through to destroy Sham and that Mull. If nothing else, you and I can be a light on that.
Very well. It is done!
Oh joy.
T-Rex roars with the fanfare.
So excited!
Well, those of you swearing oaths, please step forward.
I step forward.
Marcus steps forward.
Kneel.
I think we covered that. I won't do that, but I'll definitely work
Marcus
with it.
It's easier if you kneel. It's not a big deal. It's a ritual.
Marcus will kneel.
Mind, he's already like 2 feet taller than you are.
Yeah, massive.
Actually, you're like.
But he's up on a thing, right?
He is, but he's gonna jump down.
Okay.
He jumps down.
He is probably noticeably bigger than Sammy.
Is he bigger than Marcus?
He is. He's like 10 feet tall. He's huge. He's fucking enormous.
Clearly a raid boss.
Well, no, they have to be bigger so that
Oh,
everybody can
right,
see
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So Marcus kneels. Again.
He shifts kneel to the other knee. It's the split witches.
So you're going to say the oath, but not kneel.
I didn't say anything about saying an oath.
I thought you said you were going to be one of my captains
You
here.
said we could do it later. You specifically said I don't have to say it now. I can say it later.
Oh, that's right, I did. Excuse me.
Yes.
This is
Sorry,
now,
I got so excited with the T-Rex.
This is now later.
The T-Rex,
Oh, it's later.
the T-Rex nods a little bit at that. He actually understood something once.
Ah, that's a good point. All right. Well, I guess you could swear an oath if you're really feeling like it. But
Marcus is kneeling.
spectacular. Do you swear allegiance to the Dread King Dragoth, Lord of Gusanal and all of Arthas?
I do.
Do you swear to serve his agenda such that he shall rise once again, slay the Sorcerer Kings, and lay the entire world to ruin?
I do.
The T-Rex fidgets a little bit, gets distracted.
Do you swear to put Dragoth
Sammy's like this to you, like
You're gonna love it.
it's great.
ahead
There's
of
great perks and benefits.
We have a good health insurance program.
ahead of your ego, your well-being, every earthly desire that you may have, that his glory may be attained? And at this, Shivram is actually like thrumming a little bit. He's like,
As I say,